Hello everyone, it's Susan here. So, okay, so we're working on the journal cover and I'm using all the fabrics and laces and doilies and everything from my May giveaway, which was for my retirement. And I have it all done except for 2 or 3 pieces over here, which we will do together. And it is going to be, the final size is basically 8 inches by, well, I would say about 12.5 inches, which this will get folded, so it'll be basically 6 inches, 8 by 6. So I have sewn most of this on. I do have a couple spots right here and here that I have to sew, but we're going to start on this piece right here. And let's get this down, and then we can worry about those 2 spots. And, oops. Yep. Okay. So, welcome to my Monday Crafty Chit Chat and Slow Stitching video. My favorite of the week. And yeah. So, it is Sunday morning when I'm recording this video, and I have all my windows open today as opposed to having the air conditioning on. And right now it's cool, but I don't know, there's no sun, so I don't think it's going to be a very nice day. Yeah, so, but it feels good because I sit right in front of a window and I can feel like there's a little bit of a cool breeze and it feels so good. It feels so good. All right, so let's see here. I do have a little bit of crafty newness that I wanted to share with all of you. I had mentioned it last week that I had placed an order on Etsy, and I've been so good about not ordering things because I really don't need them, but what I got, I don't have any of, so I kind of rationalized and felt like I was okay to buy it because, well, I don't have any. But I'm not going to show you just yet. Let me get this down. And all I'm doing is some straight stitching, which is by far my favorite stitch. To me, that's what slow stitching is all about, is just doing some basic stitching. And I just love it. I do. Okay, so with that there, so what I'm going to look at next is, I know that I want this piece here somewhere. But is it see, what I'm thinking of is doing something like that because I like that it overlaps, like over here, and it's not straight. I like that. I could almost get that in there and be done with it. But I think what I'm gonna do, oh, you hear the airplane outside? That's a small plane. We have a small airport near us, and yeah, so that's, sounds like a very small, maybe 2-engine plane. Okay, so let's see. I wanna rough up the edges, make them frayed and not straight. So I think what I'm gonna do is that. So, you know what? Let me just go ahead and knot this. Then I can start sewing that piece on. So I do want to tell you another story too. It was so bizarre. So the other day when I was walking out my back door, well, let me take a step back. So there's been this hawk that only a couple times has done this, but I don't know if he's sick. I don't know, but as he has been flying overhead, he has, you know, hawks can be very loud and very vocal, right? I mean, they just are, and they normally sound beautiful, and I love hearing hawks, and I love birds, but this hawk has just been sounding almost like he's screaming. I mean, just like really, I don't know, he just doesn't sound right. And let me just think for a second here. If I do that, then I can come in with, let's see, I want to see what piece I might have that might fit there. So right now I'm just looking at sizes of these. So nothing looks, oh, this right here. Oh, so this can go, so that can end up going there. Okay, so I think I'm going to sew it like that. So anyways, there's this hawk, and he's been concerning me because I just don't understand what's wrong. Like, I don't know. I can't help him. He's up in the air. I don't know what's going on. But he just does not sound right. So the other day, it was the most bizarre thing. I walked out my back door, and he must have been right over, like the door, right over my house at that exact time. And he did one of those really loud screeching noises, and something was falling in front of my face. And it all happened so fast because all he did was open the back door, and all of a sudden I hear this loud screeching. And you know how you can see something in front of your face, but you don't necessarily know what it is. You have to focus on it. And I jumped. It startled me. I didn't know what it was. And this beautiful, gorgeous feather fell. And it fell literally right in front of my feet. And it's so pretty. I mean, I feel bad that he lost a feather, but it's so gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. So it is, you know, the feather itself is probably, I don't know, I'm measuring it against my piece, almost 8 inches long. And it's gorgeous. So I'm kind of holding it because I have no idea what to do with this feather. But I want to take good care of it. So I'm not sure where to put it, but I need to find a place to put it where it's not going to get all yucky. It's super soft, and I think I'll put this right here. I want to go up a little bit higher than this over here because that's just a little bit too low. So I'm going to do this. So yeah, so it was just really bizarre, and I feel bad for the bird. And I mean, the last time I heard him was, I don't know if a week and a half ago. So it's definitely not constant, but it is definitely a hawk. And I don't know. I don't know. So, but anyway, so that's my story about my hawk, because my hawk, listen to me, my hawk. Yeah, we have ponds up the street from my house. And so therefore, you know, we get a lot of, I mean, I've seen cranes, like there was one night years ago. I mean, people may not even believe this, but it was dark. It was the middle of the night. I turned my front light on. It was probably 11 o'clock at night, something like that. I turned my front light on, excuse me, before going to bed. And I looked out in my street in front of my house, and there was a crane standing in the middle of my street out in front of my house. It was so bizarre. And then a car was coming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I could like see the lights, the headlights, right? And it flew away. And I don't know, I mean, like the person in the car, did they even see? I mean, they're huge. They're big with the super long legs, and oh my gosh. So yeah, so weird things happen around here. Now, I live in the suburbs in New Jersey, and I mean, we have bear, lots of deer, you know, we got the whole chipmunk, squirrel, skunk, groundhog thing going on, you know. We have, and you know, I could never, maybe one of you guys know, is there a difference between a possum and an opossum? I think they're different animals. I don't know. I should do a little research on that. But I think an opossum is white in color, or close to white, like off-white. You know, he's a light color. And I don't think possums are like that. I don't know. I'm not a country gal. I don't know. But I've seen those at night, like when I would turn my light on. I don't know. I don't really do that anymore, but I guess there was a period of time where before going to bed, I would put my light on just to see what's out there. And yeah. I mean, I live in the suburbs. I'm not rural, so I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of animals around here, though. There are quite a few. We even have some albino deer. Not at my house. They're not at my house, but they are in town. And they're of course gorgeous, you know, and everybody, you have to stop and like look at them, like, because they're gorgeous. It's a whole family of them at this point. But anyway, so that was my little, I don't know, I was pretty startled when I walked out of the house that day. I really was. I was definitely startled. Look at how pretty that looks. Isn't that great for having a big assortment of different fabrics and everything? We're going to still come in and after I get this last piece up here, and we're going to start putting some laces down. And I still want to put this blue around the edge, but I think what I have to do first is we're going to have to put the batting on the back. I think so that I can sew this into the fabric and the batting at the same time. And then what I was thinking of doing is taking either this lace, or I could do this lace, any one of these, and do the tie. So that's not something I usually do, but while I'm putting a batting on here, on the back, I can put, well, I'll use this as an example. Just imagine that this is longer though. So like I can sew that on with the batting, and then it would be a lot longer, and then that's how you would tie it, and I would do it on the back too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking to do with the lace. Yeah, so we're getting there. All right, so now I'm over here. So, all right, I don't want this to be the same length as that pink piece. So let me get a little bit of this off. And if I put it, you know, let me take a little bit off the top as well and get some fraying going on here. And then that could go like that. But let's get this frayed a little bit here. Okay. So let's see, will it actually work? I think it will. And then that would be our last piece. Ooh, I like it. I like it, I like it. All right, so before we sew this on, wait 1 second, let me just get this pinned on here, and I still have the needle on the other side. And I didn't tie it off. Where is my needle? Here it is. Ah, it's all tangled. So I'll finish that in a second. But this is what I purchased. So I was watching Susan Taylor Brown because I feel like I mention Susan on every single one of these Monday videos. She's an enabler now, I guess. I don't know. But I've learned so much from her. But you can definitely check out her YouTube channel. And she had mentioned that she likes to shop at this particular Etsy shop for her wool dyed fabrics. And I don't have the name of the shop in front of me. I'll have to put the link below. This isn't the name of it. That's the name of the fibers. But anyways, so I'll have the link below to the Etsy shop. But this, look at these. I'll just take out a couple. So these are fibers. And when you look at it, it's like, does it say 100% superwash BFL wool, hand dyed with gradual color shifts. So this is wool, right? But I mean, you can, like, I could pull some of this off. Like I could pull like this off here, and I could couch this onto something. That's how I envision using wool that's like this, is for couching. I mean, look at the colors. I mean, they are really quite stunning. I mean, there's more colors in here. Let me, wow. I mean, there's, wow. As I look at it, there's more and more, and there's red and orange and green in there. But there's beautiful shades of like maroons or burgundies. There's this blue into purple, and then this purple. Oh my gosh, this stuff is awesome, just beautiful. I don't know if she has any more of this in her shop or not on Etsy. I can't remember. I wish I could remember the name. I don't think I have the card close to me either, the business card. But I'll have the link below, and this stuff is just beautiful. And honestly, I have nothing like this. I've been wanting to get something like this for probably close to a year. It's almost a year that I've been stitching. I started stitching in September of last year. So yeah, so when I saw this, and I thought the price was really decent for this amount, because this was only $20 for all of this, and I think that that's an extremely good price. Extremely good price. So I'm like, I almost had to. I was forced to. But it was definitely worth it. And I did have to pay shipping because that was all that I had purchased from her. But it was like, I don't know, $4 or something like that. So it was reasonable. It was definitely reasonable. And I just want to show you as well what kind of batting we are going to be using. And so this is the batting. It is, I don't know, Dream Cotton. Is that the name of it? Like, what is the, maybe Dream Cotton is the brand? Yeah, yes it is, because there's the registered mark. So I'm going to say that that's the brand name, Dream Cotton. 100% pure cotton batting. I mean, it's made for quilters, but obviously I don't quilt. So yeah. So the original size, so there's all different sizes. I had gotten the crib size, which is 60 inches by 46 inches. But this is what that we're gonna cut. And it's like felt. I mean, honestly, I mean, you know, any quilter out there would probably be screaming at me saying, that's not felt. But to me, it feels like felt. I don't know. So anyway, so that's what's going to go onto the back of this. This is a little, I don't know, sewing like this, which to me is all about collaging, right? It's just collaging with fabric as opposed to collaging with paper. And it's actually a lot easier to collage with paper than it is with fabric. And one of the reasons is because, I don't know, I feel like I have to stop and start again over and over because, so this is going to be sewn, but then I'm going to tie a knot, right? I'll tie it off under here, and then I have to sew this and tie it off again, and then we're going to come back here, and this is still loose, so I have to tie that on as well as this, or sew that on. So it's just a lot of, it's very different because, you know, when you're collaging with paper, you know, you throw some glue down or matte medium or something, and you just, and it all goes on super easy. This just takes a little bit more thought, but the thinking part to get it to be, you know, to the look that you want it to have, whether it's paper or fabric, that is one of my favorite parts of doing any sewing project, is to get the, there goes another plane, to get the pieces down in a way that it looks good to you. So that by far is a favorite step in the process of mine, for sure, whether it's fabric or paper. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just start my little iron here real quick. Hopefully you can see that, but it takes like a second to get hot. And I just wanna iron this down before I come and I sew these two areas. And then we're going to cut, I have to move this over. My cord isn't long enough. Then we have to cut the batting and then figure out exactly what to do for the lace that's going to be our tie for this cover. And you know, and I have no plan for this cover. What I will probably do, I'm kind of like in the mood for creating covers. So I kind of feel like what I might do is, you know, like I have different fabrics that I store together because I think that they look really pretty together and would make a nice project. So like what I want to do is start using up that kind of stuff. I mean, I even have a lot of jean fabric, and or denim, whatever you want to call it. And I would like to make a cover out of that as well. So I have all of these, you know, a good amount of different fabrics that I have set aside together. And yeah, so I'm thinking I'm kind of in the mood for kind of doing what I'm doing right here. But I think what I'll do next is I want to do another one of the simplistic, that I call simplistic blocks. I have them right next to me. Let me grab. I want to do another one because I want to keep going on with that too. Because I want to eventually sew these together and make a big wall hanging. But these are my simplistic blocks, and they are excuse me, totally inspired by Maria Ruiz from the Susan Taylor Brown Facebook group. And she just does, I just think they're absolutely beautiful. And in their simplicity, like to me, these are simple. And when I say that, I think what I mean by that is that, I don't know, I just don't, I like to throw everything in the kitchen sink onto my projects, but with that, I have to really, really, really limit myself and really think about it. And so there's a lot of times where when I'm working on one of those blocks, that I just have to edit myself and start taking stuff off because I put too much stuff on, and I'm like, nope. I have to catch myself. And yeah, so I want to do at least one more of those before I start another cover for a journal. All right, so I think with that sewn, that at least has all of these pieces down. So I'm gonna grab the batting, and I'm trying to think what is the best way. You know, like if I measure it, I know it's not gonna come out right. To be totally honest. Oh, you know what? Let's do the batting. I want to at least get it cut. And then we're going to spend some time and just sew down some laces on here. So what I think I'll do, and this might be a little bit harder for you to see, but let me open up this batting. And I think what I'll do is kind of, all right, it's going to have to sit on my lap a little bit here. And I think what I'll do is just kind of place this on top of it, and then I'll just cut, right? I mean, that kind of makes the most sense to me. What I'm noticing with batting is that you can pull it a little bit to make it like a little bit bigger. Because like on this side over here, it was a little not cut straight, but I just like pulled the batting and it made it bigger. So this is my pair of scissors that I have just for cutting fabric. And the way that I know that they are those scissors is because I put a piece of fabric at the end of them. Like, because I have another pair, and these I use for paper, you know, that might have adhesive on it. But these are Fiskars Easy Action scissors, and I like them because they open up themselves and they have a nice long blades. All right, so you know what? I think I'm gonna have to be quiet just for a second because I don't want to mess this up. I don't think this is going to be exact because my fabric, my cover, is not exact, but because some of the pieces are a little lower than the other ones around the edges, but we're gonna be putting this lace around too, so it might be okay. So let me, isn't that funny? I can't cut and talk at the same time. Okay, so that's cut. Is this like even straight? I'm like looking at my cover and it looks like the top of my journal cover is wider than the bottom. Just by eyeballing it. Oh, I'm afraid to do this. But that's okay because I can cut it. Now's the time to get that and cut it. So I can tell you right now it's bigger up on top. On top it's about 13 inches and on the bottom it's about 12.5. Okay, so let me, I think what I'll do, because I feel like on this side it goes out a little bit up here, so I'm going to, I don't know, here goes. I guess I should I should have made sure that it was straight before I did anything else. Okay, so now what's good is that now I can see that the bottom piece also has to be trimmed. When I push down on the top and the bottom, that's 6 1/4. And if I push down here, that's 6 1/4. So this can either go on top of the fabric like that, which I think would be good because like I said, this edge is now perfectly straight, but the other edges are not. So that might be the best way to go. Or I could even sew the lace in between the batting and the fabric. So that's another option. And that also looks pretty. Doesn't that look pretty? Oh, I really like that. But see, but it looks good because that fabric, that edge is straight. So if I do the same thing here, where I know the edge is not straight, will that bother me? I mean, the reason why I left it like that was because I knew I was putting this lace on, but I thought I was gonna put it on top of it. But now I like it under it. Oh, I like that. It's very wonky. Wonky is my new sewing word. I think that's kind of what I think that's what I have to do, is go underneath. So now the question is, do I sew the lace on and then the batting, or do I do both at the same time? I think, let me see if I can even get this sewn on here. Like or pinned on here, sorry. See, because I would have to make sure that the lace is on the batting enough that when I sew it, it's going to go through to the batting as well, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. I like that. I think that that is like perfect. But now my issue is, well, before sewing the batting on, like I said, I do want to sew like pieces of lace on the front here. So, but I didn't want it to be sewn through to the batting. So maybe I should just take this piece of lace off for now, remove the batting. Let's just finish the front because it's not fully finished in my eyes. And then I can put the batting back and the lace back. So if you look over here on this edge, this is super wonky, super wonky. I think I'm gonna have to cut down some of this batting on this side. All right, so I'm gonna stop for today, and then I will be back next Monday and we will continue on, okay? Oh, I love it. Look at how cute it's going to look. So this is going to be, well, the pin's in the way, but this is going to be the front of the cover, and this is going to be the back, and we'll have, I think, well, either the blue lace or this lace as the sewn in there for the tie so that you can see, you know, tie it shut. And then on the inside, so this isn't the end, on the inside, I hope I still have enough of this. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I want to sew this fabric all on the inside. So this is going to be the inside cover. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you to everybody that sent me all this amazing stuff to use. I just love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I will see you next Monday. Check out my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery video on Wednesday. And then there's a new collaboration starting with Sherry and myself on Friday. So make sure you check out all the videos. Thank you so much. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.